Hello, welcome back. Um, so we're on the second part of being a brand new player to the game Destiny 2. As in the previous video, I made a warlock. We've done the first mission. I explained weapons, power level, and armor stats, and briefly ran over abilities of your different things on a warlock. So your main objective really is to grind your power level. Sorry, I was interrupted by the kids there. So, your main objective is to get this to 1,000, okay? So, if you open the director, these are your destinations. You've got your tower, which is your social space, okay? Mercury, Io, Mars, Titan, Earth, Moon, Nessus, Dreaming City, and Tangled Shore. There's a lot. And then these nodes here are your Vanguard. These are your strikes. 15, 20-minute missions with loot at the end. Average loot. Then you've got Nightfall. Nightfall is a bit more of a harder task. It's a strike, but the enemies are tougher. It's a bit of a longer strike. You've got to hit certain marks with this to get better loot. Then these are basic Nightfalls. So they're these, but a bit easier. So easy, medium, hard. Okay. Gambit. This right here. This is standard. This is a bit harder, and this is a private match. Obviously, we'll get to this in a minute. So Gambit is a mix of PvE, player versus environment, and PvP, player versus player. It's a mixture of both. We'll dive into that later on in the game. This is Gambit Prime. The enemies are tougher in this, a bit like the Nightfall. So this was like a standard strike, then a more complicated strike. This is standard Gambit, more complicated Gambit. Crucible. This is all your player versus player. These are all your standard player lists. These two here rotate every week. So at the minute it's Mayhem, where you get your supers back really quickly. And Breakthrough, never played it before, not interested in playing it either. These are classic game modes, and these are private games. So you can set private games up between you and your friends. And this is your pinnacle end game PvP activity. This is 1,000 power plus, so you don't need to worry about this just yet. So that's your destinations. This is you're going to use this menu a lot to go to different planets, to different things. They're all highlighted. It's a bit overwhelming, but we'll manage. Roster. This is where you can see your friends and invite them to join your fire team. This is where you can close your fire team, open friends only, invite only, or just completely private. Season. This is purchasable content. It's worth getting. It's around 1,000 silver. It's around 8 quid. But I would recommend getting this because I am going to use this to level up the quickest way possible. Okay? So if you can, spend a tenner, get this. If you can't, don't worry about it. You will be able to level up, but it's going to be a lot slower for you, okay? Which isn't a bad thing, because you can get more used to the game that way. But I am going to use my season pass. This is your store. These are the things you can buy for Bright Dust. You get Bright Dust for free. These are all purchasable stuff. John's arguing with Violet. Quests used to be a lot more complicated than what they are now. So you can track them. The important ones that you want to do first. Obviously, you want to do an introduction to strikes. You want to do your main quest, New Light. Quests again. So that's an overhaul of everything. Quests. Shadowkeep. This is specific to the Shadowkeep DLC. So anything Shadowkeep will be in here. Seasonal, which is your season this year. Every season there's different objectives for you to complete. Those will show in here. Playlist quests, so this could be strikes or PvP or gambit. Exotic quests to get exotic weapons and stuff that you've done in the past. So we're gonna go to the social space. Oh yes. Also, if you hold, and I'll just get my controller going here. If you hold LT or L2, you can see what you need to do. You do these two things first. So relive in the past. Amanda visited. She's here in the tower, over here, on the left side of the hangar. Because you land, you're looking this way. So that's on your left. We also need to visit those two there. Don't know if you caught it. So it's all about grinding your power level. Before you even think about anything else, just get this to 950, between 950 and 1000. And then you can start looking at what weapons you want, what armor pieces you want for the different roles here. Again, refer back to my previous video for the explanation of all these. They're pretty self-explanatory. It tells you there what they all do. But yeah, I explained this a little more in depth in the last video. So we are on the tower again. We're going to follow the little director here. This is the left side of the hangar. Where, we're going to go and see Amanda. See what she has. Legacy content. Oh, so these are the storylines. These are the free storylines that you can do. Okay. I recommend running through these. Start with the Red War. Collect that. Do that storyline. Then do Curse of Osiris. And then do Warmind. Please, please run through these story missions before you do any of what I'm about to do. Run through the story missions. Okay?
Looking for something new.
So now that you've run through the story missions, come back to the tower. And you might be higher power level than what I am now, because you'll have got items along the way. Probably. Hopefully. Hopefully you've got items. You've probably been at the tower numerous times now for bits of the story. I've run the story numerous times, so I don't need to do it again. That's why I'm going to use the season pass to level my gear up, because by now, you're not going to be this, you're going to be a lot higher than that.
That's a tough place to start your new life, Guardian. I'm impressed. But there,
And there was one more, Hawthorne.
There we go.
So Ikora is one of the main guardians in the whole playlist. Along with my videos, you're getting directions all the time. I mean, it can't be any more obvious.
I think I got it. Got a banner for you here. Wear it with pride.
So
You
this
Guardians
is
are all about symbols, right?
banners, your clan.
Warlocks, Titans, Dead
You can-
Orbit, Iron Banner.
As
Take care of yourself, okay?
as your clan does things like nightfalls and raids and pinnacle activities, which are like your top tier 1000 power activities, you will get rewards from it as well, as long as you're in a clan. I mean, Bungie have made it really easy to understand the basics of this game, but I just thought I'd run through it anyway. Basically, you're going to speak to everyone. So this is the PvP guy, player versus player guy.
Guardian, you're here.
Crucible.
You've done so much already.
Once you to complete a
Now,
Crucible game.
The Crucible
Again,
of Lord
just
Shaq
things you can
will prepare you. In my arena, should a Titan stand in your way, crush him.
They do get a little annoying because they just waffle on about shit, basically. Excuse my French. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the tower. By now, you'll have got to know all these people pretty well if you've done all 3 storylines, which I'm hoping you have. I hope you enjoyed it. So, things you can do after the story, okay? After the story. To level up, power level. Actually, it wants you to do the moon. Okay, so once you've done all the storylines, that's Shadowkeep. So let's try and level up as much as I can without going into Shadowkeep. Actually. So, Earth. I want you to go to Earth. I want you to speak to this guy. So off we go to Earth. This is actually an introduction to the season pass, which I was explaining earlier. This season lasts about 3-4 months. This is the PvE activity for the season. You can actually do this and join in with this without buying the season pass, which is good. So like I say, I'm going to try and level up without buying, without going into Shadowkeep. Just basically off the free game, plus the season pass. Well, this is the Tross Land, one of many areas on Earth. Every planet has its own vendor, its own how do you say, its own vanguard. This is Devram K. He's in charge of Earth.
Looking for something?
You don't really visit this guy much once you get in the later into the game. So, with all that being said, if you're a new player and you look at this, you're going to think, what is going on here? So, the best way, okay, to level up your power level is to do public events. Okay, these are these things. They're on every planet. Do public events, and this is overwhelming. Bungie need to sort this out. So, best way to level up, forget everything else, okay? Do public events and strikes. Just grind them out. Get a 900 power, 950 power. Doing public events and strikes. Public events are on every planet. Go to Titan. There's a public event here. We need to visit the vendor there anyway, so let's go and do this public event. public events turn up pretty randomly. There is a couple of websites that try and predict them for you, but they're pretty regular, honestly. You don't have to specifically do this one that I'm doing. It just so happens that I need to go here anyway. You've probably been here. You've probably been to every planet by now if you've done the story, which I recommend. Again,
Hit me.
do it. Sure.
Yeah. How's your work, Guardian?
So. If you rally to the flag on public events, it fills all your ammo and it fills your super for you. By now you should have a good idea of what's going on with supers and everything else, because you've done the story, haven't you? Yes, you have. Well done. Public event start in 28 seconds. I am going to show you how to make this specific public event. They're all different, they're not all the same. But this type of public event I know how to make heroic. Heroic offers better loot. A little bit tougher, but not too hard. I will make a video on every public event and how to make every public event heroic. But I'm just going to quickly show you this one.
Guardian, the Fallen are bringing in their armory. Again. You'd think they'd know better by now.
Look at those caches. They never learn.
Then teach them a new lesson.
So, you weaken them, you pick these balls up. Now the secret is to... Hang on 2 seconds. The secret is to put one ball in each of these domes. That way, the players around you don't do this. Because you don't want them to do that. You want balls in every single thing. All in there. And the final two are over here. One more ball. And this public event will be heroic. Joined heroic public event. There's going to be a second tank now. Here we go. If you shoot the cannon and hold your trigger in, it does more damage. heroic public event completed.
Oh, wait.
And as you can see, this is why it's such a good source to do public events. Look at that.
Well done.
1,
Again.
2. 3. 3 bits of gear for 1 heroic public event. So that unfortunately is not an upgrade. So we can delete that. But this will be 755. No, 750, 855, and 852. So put the 855 on. Delete the rest. You're not going to keep these anyway. And that is that. 786. No, 776. Remember to ignore that plus 10. So yeah. Go around all the planets, do lots of different public events, get used to them all. I will make an in-depth video on how to make every public event heroic, if you need to do that. And yes, I'll see you in the next one. Oh no, wait. Yeah, see you in the next one.